Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Final Fantasy VII Remake playthrough, and we are not leaving the Coliseum behind just yet. Unfortunately, once you've finished the Hell House battle, the vending machine no longer restocks. So, if you used up all your Mega Potions on the Hell House like I did, well, tough luck.
Sucks to be you.
Also, from this point on, the second room has no purpose whatsoever, so sad face.
I like that we get a... Wait, what? Versus wild animals. Okay.
So the character versus wild animals is always the same no matter which character you fight it with. But you have to do that particular challenge with a given character to get the second limit break item. It's a bit lame, to be honest. Like, the limit break items for the level 4 limit breaks in the original game were usually in some pretty interesting locations. The only one that was tied to a Coliseum was the Omni-Slash item, which you could get really early on if you just tackled the Coliseum at the earliest possible opportunity. But if you tried to do it that way in the original game, the price to get the Omni-Slash item was a lot higher than it would be in later discs.
It was doubled.
Yeah. So
I guess they didn't want you to be able to break the game with it, I guess.
Or they made it like you were able to, you just had to work for it.
Yeah, because, I mean, being real, you didn't need Omni-Slash ever, because Meteor Rain was a good enough multi-hit.
Oh, yeah. But
limit
the
break.
thing about level 4 limit breaks is the earlier you get them in the game, the less you're going to be able to use them because the amount of damage lower level enemies do is lesser, so you're getting less limit break out of being hit by them.
Yeah.
So there's not really much reason to get a level 4 limit break in
Is
Disc
that
1.
something I don't think they ever really go into in the original, where the higher level limit breaks take longer to
I
build?
think the only reason they let you get Omni-Slash that early was to camouflage the fact that you could get Great Gospel that early. So that, you know...
You can get a couple of limit 4s depending on what you do, like, because you can get Cosmo Memory as early as your first Shinra match.
Yeah, like, you can get a few level 4 limit breaks that early on, so the fact that you can get Aerith's level 4 limit break early on doesn't come up as a big death flag.
What do you have to do in order to get it?
To get Great Gospel?
Yeah.
There's an item you bring to this guy, and he presents you with 2 boxes, and the big one has an accessory or an armor piece in it, and the small one has the Great Gospel item inside it instead.
You talk to this dude that I think is off of the outskirts of June.
Yeah, he like lives in a house on a beach somewhere.
Yeah, he gives you a specific item depending on the last 2 digits of the amount of battles you faced.
What?
And one of them is an item that you can give to the dude. I think it's an item that you give to the dude, and he lets you open one of the boxes in exchange for the generosity. It's either the small or the big box. I think the small box has the Great Gospel. The big box has some throwaway item.
Yeah, it's a piece of armor, gold bracelet or something, I think.
I think it might be that. A gold armlet.
Oh, well, then you can sell that, though, which is better long term.
Or you can get those from dragons, though, in Mount Nibelheim.
Yeah.
So that's nothing special.
The Great Gospel limit break it's a level 4, so you're probably not going to have a chance to use it before Aerith kicks the bucket. But if you do, it turns your entire party temporarily invincible. So...
Yeah, it's not just a full restore, but it's complete invincibility.
Yeah. So it's like... At that point, bust out the Aerith tank strategy again. Stick her in hyper mode forever. And you'll never lose until she dies. And then it's like, God damn it, Sephiroth, you killed my Great Gospel.
Yeah, but honestly...
What? I mean, Aerith.
I feel like maybe this was just the way I played, but the Aerith spends most of the game dead. Like, you spend at least half the game with her dead. You know, like, you don't...
yeah, but, like, in the way Final Fantasy VII is divided up, Disc 2 is the midpoint of the game. So... you still get plenty of time with her on your side. You just don't get plenty of time with Great Gospel.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, though, is the thing. Like, you definitely get enough time to be attached to Aerith as a character. That's true. It's just, I don't think you ever need to... There's no fight that early in the game where you need full invincibility in order to beat it.
That's part of why they gave her that ability at that point in time. There's this really good limit break that's really secret and really hard to get if you're playing the game blind. You find that stuff on a first playthrough, you're not expecting that character to die, are you?
Yeah. It was going into what you were saying earlier about if they handled it any differently, it might have set off a red flag.
Yeah.
That she's meant to die.
So they give you stuff for her that seems to imply that she's going to remain with your party, and then she doesn't.
I just wish she didn't die that early on in the adventure, because once you know that she's slated to bite it, towards the end of disc 1, I have no incentive to level the character up.
I mean, Xenoblade Chronicles kind of pulled a similar prank on you with what's her name?
Sharla?
Not Sharla.
No, that's not Sharla. Sharla's who you get after
Charla's
the tutorial.
she's the one with a sniper rifle.
Yeah, other girl whose name I don't remember.
Sorry. Girl whose name I don't remember.
Oh, wait, no, sorry, that's Melia. Sorry, I'm being mean.
Whose name I don't remember. Instantly remembers her name, huh?
Oh, well, I was trying to make a joke about how Shulk, doesn't notice that Melia exists, even though she very clearly has a crush on him.
Melia is, the protagonist of the new epilogue chapter in Definitive Edition, you know?
Melia is, the protagonist of the game. Really, she has more plot importance. Shulk is just I'm really feeling it. I want to get revenge.
Well, in any case, that chick who made Shulk a sandwich that one time, her.
Yeah.
So it's been way too long since I played Xenoblade Chronicles.
I did not
expect
the game to do what they did with that character.
Yeah, I mean, they designed a whole rogue. They designed a whole MMORPG rogue style character just for the beginning of the game. They make her look like such a fleshed out character that you're going to be playing as forever, and then they kill her off. And it's like, whoa, man. That's some galaxy-brained game design.
I should really try to play Xenoblade again. It's definitely the kind of game that I need to go in absolutely feeling it. And, and, I have to be 1,000% in the mood to play that game and nothing else for, 3 months.
You should get your hands on Definitive Edition. It does kind of make the entire experience a bit more.
That's definitely what I'm gonna do. I still have my Wii version, but if I were to play it again, I would absolutely do Definitive Edition. It also helps that I just generally prefer to play my RPGs on the go anyway. So, well, not on the go because we live in a hellscape now, but on the couch instead of in my room.
Uh-huh. That's usually where people sit in front of the TV, but
you don't understand. It's different. The way my house is laid out, we do have couches in the room with the big TV in it, but I was never allowed to have my game console in there because that was Dad's TV. So, he didn't want to have to deal with me playing Mario Kart or Pokemon Stadium when he wanted to watch football or whatever. So we moved my console upstairs to the smaller TV, and there wasn't really ever a good couch to lounge while playing there. So I kind of just always assumed that playing console games meant I was more physically upright and whatnot. But if I was playing Pokemon or whatever, I could lie down on the couch and relax while playing. That kind of thing.
Fair enough. I mean, you can lay down while playing a console game, but it's a bit difficult to control a character on the screen if your view of the screen is slanted.
Yeah. It also helps that I tended to play my handheld games on the same couch where I would read too. So it just kind of, they mentally put me in a similar place, where you're curled up and reading a good book and you're in that same mental mindset. Mental mindset is the most redundant thing I've said in the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, kinda.
Is it the same group of enemies you fight every time?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And does every character have
Have to do it, yep.
Oh, boy.
I'm pretty sure these challenges level up with you as well, so...
So it's not even brain dead easy and takes 2 seconds if you go back later?
Yeah. I mean, you have to do the ones with Tifa and Barrett, several chapters ahead in the story, so they have to get better. But there is a difficulty star to let you know how hard the challenge is meant to be relative to wherever you're at.
So is that like the only one Aerith has then?
More or less.
Oh, yeah. The other challenges under the Coliseum heading are a team of 2 versus whatever, or team of 3 versus whatever. And you pick whatever party members you have from whoever's available.
Okay, so there's a bunch that are just Cloud or just Tifa.
Yeah, the wild animals challenges, there's one for all 4 party members. But a lot of the other challenges just let you pick whatever party members you have available, which is more relevant to the VR missions in Shinra Tower, because at that point, you can have Aerith with you. But up until that point, all you have is whoever you don't have all 4 party members with you until at the earliest Hojo's lab.
And do all 4 fight in battle together? Can you switch between all 4 at the same time?
No, because they split up into teams of 2, really.
Okay.
Yeah, for that segment of the game, they split up into teams of 2, yes. But there is a point where all 4 of them come together, and you have the ability to just assemble your party however you want. But it's not until like the very end of the game.
But how many people can you have in a fight max?
3.
Okay.
Same as the original.
Okay. Because I'm wondering, it seems like having a different party member for specific points is really baked into this game's design, and I'm wondering how they're going to handle that for the
part 2 and
part
so
2.
on, where you're going to get a whole bunch of party members, and it's going to be really hard to come up with contrived reasons to not have them in the party for a while.
Yeah, I mean, there are points where they can do that. Like, one thing I can think of just off the top of my head is Gold Saucer, where you fall down to the lower section. Oh, only Cloud, Tifa, and Red 13 fall down there, and everybody else is waiting up top.
Well, what they'll do is they'll probably take advantage of the fact that the timeline is shifting, and they'll introduce new events that split the party up a little bit more often. And that'll give them also opportunities to have you take control of different members of the party for their own little side stories.
That'd be nice.
I think it would be an interesting angle to follow. But we'll see how they handle it.
How hard do these Coliseum fights get when you get to the last ones?
The last one's going to be pretty tough.
Okay.
And I'm talking about the whole VR missions as well. So.
Yeah, a lot of the enemies that you see in these challenges are actually like mini bosses from previous quests and parts of the game. Like this guy, the Huntsman, is sort of an uber-mook riot soldier that you fight during Chapter 2 at the very end, just before Cloud jumps on the train. This was the boss that I completely obliterated using Punisher counters and fire spells. And at that point in time, I made him look like a goddamn punk. But like...
You're just refusing to use fire for whatever reason.
Like, there we go, staggered. He's a bit more durable now that you're encountering him in the Coliseum, and he's a bit higher leveled.
You could have just wailed on him.
Well, I know I could have, but Cloud can do that automatically. Besides, I have like free MP recovery in between every fight, so I might as well use Aerith's magic to its fullest. I mean, it's not every day this game lets you just go wild with magic without much consequence.
Is she considered the best character in the game?
Well, best magic user, easily.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there is a best character.
There's the best character for a suited role.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, Tifa is the fastest and really good at driving up the stagger bar. Does a lot of damage through smaller, faster attacks. Cloud is an excellent beat stick and has that really useful counterattack and is just all around good as a centerpiece for your party. Aerith is walking field artillery, and Barrett is walking field artillery.
With way more HP.
Yeah.
Well, that's why
Barrett-
you put Aerith in the back row where nobody's going to be whacking her with anything.
Ugh.
Back row.
Insert monologue about how good of a healing wind tank she actually is. But
We did it.
that we did.
I was not expecting the hard edge to be so long. Like I love the hard edge in 7. To me, I think it's Cloud's second most iconic sword.
Yeah.
Honestly, just speaking as someone who played the game much later, I do not remember what a single other weapon in that game looked like for Cloud except for the Buster Sword. And
Not
the
even an
baseball
ultimate weapon?
bat. Like, that's it. And it's only the baseball bat. No, I don't know what the hell that thing looks like.
Which one was it?
Ultimate weapon.
Oh, Ultimate Weapon.
I don't think I got it.
Oh.
So
Did you beat the Ultimate Weapon?
I don't think so.
Okay, probably not.
Like, what would I have to have done to
You
get it?
just have to defeat ultimate,
Ultimate
weapon.
Weapon.
Yeah.
I probably didn't do that then. Or,
Yeah.
or do
You're
you
just
have,
flying in your high wind, seeing him flying around like, oh, that's nice.
Maybe I don't
Just-
I played this game a million years ago. I don't remember
It's
what I did.
it's one of the more memorable side bosses because it's not super duper indestructible like Ruby and Emerald is. It's actually a fairly comfortable boss fight as the weapon battles go, but you have to chase him around the world and in the high wind and defeat him multiple times before you can kill him properly. And then when he does, he falls to the earth and explodes and opens up a pathway to an optional dungeon for you. So not only do you get his sword for Cloud as an ultimate weapon, you also get access to a new area where you can get a new summon materia.
Congratulations, Cloud. We found your ultimate weapon. Ultimate weapon.
You can get fucking what was it? I think it's Typhon. You can get in Ancient Forest.
Either that or
and Cloud's
Kujata.
Apocalypse.
I don't remember.
No, Kujata is in the forest above Bone Village.
Typhon
Right.
sounds like something I should die to in Oregon Trail.
Typhon was the wind boss that followed Ultros around in 6. The dude that sneezed on you.
Okay, so now you're talking. Okay, so when you're talking about ultimate weapon floating in the sky, that reminds me of Final Fantasy VI, where you have to tap the D-pad once to the right and then tape down your D-pad up for a half an hour.
Hunting down
so that you can
Doomgaze.
fight that stupid thing. I remember the first time I was playing that game. I run into this thing and I'm like, "What the
Yeah,
fuck is
ultimate
this
weapon
guy?
is kind of Final Fantasy VII's Doomgaze, except it's visible on the world map. So
Which makes it much better.
yes,
Because you beat him and then Doomgaze. I'm talking about. You beat him and then he runs away, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
And then you have to find him like 4 more times and beat him, and then you actually beat him and get
Well,
whatever.
you just have to. His HP carries over, so you just have to keep re-encountering him until you win.
and then what do you
basically.
get when you beat him?
Bahamut, yeah.
Okay. I probably didn't bother. I remember I got really salty when I was playing Final Fantasy VI because I was doing the thing to grind for the Cursed Shield, where you're walking back and forth on Celus's Depression Island and
Yeah.
fighting the level 1 enemies in order to do that. And,
I like you use the conceptual name for it.
Yeah.
So this is Depression Island.
Depression Island. Yeah.
and my brother turned the game off while I had it, because the Wii Virtual Console had the home button, like kind of suspend thing, right?
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
brother turned the Wii off without going back to the Wii menu, and I had to do all that. I lost like 2 hours of that, and
Yeah.
I kind of rage quit for a while after that.
You know what though? I'll give it to Doomgaze though, because Doomgaze to this day is still one of the most tense encounters I have with Final Fantasy as a whole, only because of how sudden it is.
Well, it happens out of nowhere. You're literally flying,
yeah.
and then it's just like, what the?
Suddenly
what,
the screen just
what?
goes. You get the battle whoosh effect, and the screen goes dark.
Yeah, it's like you're not supposed to run into wild battles when you're on the airship. So it's like, what's going on?
Yep. But
Like, can you guys think of any encounter in an RPG? It doesn't have to be Final Fantasy or anything like that that literally spooked you, like as soon as it happened.
Just like surprised you, or
Yeah, surprise. Yeah.
Okay.
As in,
look at all your fans gathering out here to say hello.
It's not a fight, but there's a point in not Final Fantasy. There's a point in Dragon Quest XI that Dragon Quest XI in the middle of the game. If you've played it, you know what I'm talking about. that like made me drop my jaw. So that's cool. But in terms of like a fight that happens out of nowhere, it's not really the same kind of thing. Like it's not really the same sort of feeling in that you see this monster and you're like, what the hell is it? But running into a shiny in Pokemon is generally like you freak out because you don't know, like you either don't know what it is or you know what it is and you aren't sure if it's like. It's like whenever I see a shiny, I don't know if it's like, is that actually a shiny? Am I just seeing things?
Is it a Pikachu that's slightly different colored, or
yeah?
I hate shinies that are just like the exact same color, but it's just like 0.5% muted or something.
I got a Plusle. I breeded a Plusle, and you see the animation where the Plusle hatches, and it's the Plusle's shiny is that its ears are slightly darker red, and I'm looking at it and I'm squinting at it and I'm like, is my screen okay? And I look in the stats and it says it's shiny and it's like, oh.
Neat.
Thanks,
I
game.
guess. It's a shiny of a useless mon I'm never going to actually use because it's just not very good.
So in Gen 7, oh god, I can't remember the thing's actual name anymore. The meteorite Pokemon.
The one day you can't tell is a shiny until it breaks open.
Yeah, I got that as a shiny on my first legitimate, like on my actual first playthrough of Gen 7. And so it like the sparkle happened and I'm like, what? Wait. And then I cracked open its shell and it's like black with colored speckles and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's definitely shiny. I caught it and then I didn't know this until after I caught it. The thing knows self-destruct at that level. So I almost lost that thing forever, which would have been
tragic.
Very sad. Yeah.
Oh, you know what they say. Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Self-destruct.
Okay.
I think the phrase more close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yeah, this is the line that Madam M says that connects her effort to the dress with Cloud's work in Sector 6. Or Sector 5, rather.
Hey, it's time to make sure you're sure you can't,
Yeah.
If you want to go do anything, although at this point, if you've done everything, there's no reason to leave, so.
Yeah, so this is the point where if you say yes, you can't take Aerith back to the Coliseum. So there's your cutoff point. You had exactly one opportunity, and if you missed it, like I did, it sucks
like
to be
everyone
you.
Did.
You won't be able to get her second limit break until a second playthrough.
I do appreciate that they do make it very clear that it's a point of no return.
Yeah. Well, her second limit break in this game is a lot better than her second limit break in the original game. In the original game, her second level 1 limit break was Breath of the Earth, which you're basically never going to use because it's a status effect healing thing. It's like, why? But at least you also have Healing Wind at that level, so you're not totally up the creek without a paddle. But like in her level 2,
no, you're using Breath of the Earth to unlock.
But her level 2 limit break isn't all that great in original FF7. So at that point, you're basically just trying to spam the thing so you can learn the second one, and then kill as many enemies as you can so you can learn your level 3s, and then she gets good again.
Because I legitimately liked Fury Brand.
So like, okay. In this game, though, her second limit break is Planet's Protection, which, much like Cloud's limit break, is Diet Great Gospel.
Can you actually try to peek on Aerith?
Yes.
Okay.
So Planet's Protection doesn't heal you, I don't think. But what it does do is make your entire party temporarily impervious to physical attacks. Which is a lot more useful than it sounds because, well, most of the attacks that you're going to be hit with are physical attacks. The enemy isn't going to be hitting you with quite as much magic as you are going to be hitting them with magic. So, yeah, bust that out whenever you get the chance. It's going to be really useful. The amount of health you would have healed with a Healing Wind, you will prevent threefold at least with Planet's Protection. I like how the entire justification for this quest line is, Boy, you naive. You get out there, you get some
You're
street
like a
smarts
boy
going.
that can use a
Why do I
good
get the feeling you're
Ford
trying to
truck.
sell me a Ford pickup?
Yeah, exactly. I just said that myself.
The
damn it.
Chocobo pickup has the highest horsepower of anything in Midgar.
Well, you see here, Cloud, this Ford Pier pickup is built like a rock.
He kind of does.
Able
Like a
to get
rock.
up to 37 miles per hour in just 5.2 megabytes.
Yeah, it's colored yellow too, like a chocobo.
2 lanes wide, Desperado.
With its impressive 3 miles per gallon gas tank and gas mileage, you know
Top
that
of
you'll
the-
be going back to fill it up every 5 minutes.
Top of the line in utility sport. Unexplained fires are a matter for the courts.
Oh yeah, I like this. The city map that you can access through the through the map screen, which is entirely useless, by the way, is just a wireframe of Midgar like you'd see on the train station, like you'd see on the train screen.
There's a quest called Burning Thighs.
Yeah, buns and thighs.
Yeah, that's the squats.
That's where they put the gym guys.
Yeah.
Okay, because
the
they
big
had
burly
to.
men.
They probably knew they had to have them in the game, but
In the original game, it's implied that like everyone in that gym is like, I don't know, some kind of drag queen or something. That element has been basically left out here. You don't get the wig at the gym. I'm not entirely sure why you got the wig at the gym in the first place.
I never got that. Yeah.
But you do like the leader of the gym is slightly fabulous. They kept that element around. But that's about it. Basically, the people of the gym in Remake, they're just a bunch of stereotypical muscleheads. Muscleheads who are really in love with their own muscles. But you'll see what I mean next part, because we're not doing that this part.
well, the narcissistic talking's hard. The narcissist musclehead is a trope that's also fairly common in these sorts of things.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, look at me, oh, I'm so fabulous.
In this game, it's played as the gym's head instructor uses your victory over the first guy
muscleheads.
who does a squatting contest with you as an opportunity to teach them a life lesson that it's about quality, not just mass.
I mean, we learned that from Dragon Ball, yes.
Well, also, Cloud is channeling the spirit of Zack Fair, who is the undisputed champion of all things squat related. So,
Soldier squat, soldier squat, soldier squat.
Son, you don't know squat.
Yeah, I do, Dad. He just does squats.
The clothing store owner's side quest is amusing, though.
One soldier squat.
Oh, no.
What? Oh, I know why I want to punch this guy in the face. He's got Waka's haircut. Now it all makes sense. Okay.
He's not voiced by John DiMaggio, though.
You ever just looked at a guy from far away and just said to yourself, that dude's a racist.
Waka's such a douchebag, for the record.
Have you ever wanted to punch someone really bad, but they're way over there?
Sounds like you need a blitz ball.
And that's why Oliver Queen has a boxing glove arrow. That's literally his explanation as to why he has that.
Yeah, but not only is he a racist who listens to the Xanarkand equivalent of Fox News, he also sleeps with his dead brother's girlfriend, which is also, like, weird and bad. Like, don't do that. No. Waka, no.
Wasn't that exact scenario something that happened in the Bible at one point?
Oh, probably, but the Bible isn't where you should be taking your life advice from, no matter what anybody tells you.
Oh, well, okay, yeah, that's fair. We're talking about the Old Testament here, so...
I mean,
Well, both of them.
listen, there's some decent bits in there, I'll admit. Like, don't kill people, generally the right idea. Like, honor your parents, usually okay. Not lie, generally the best thing to do. But, like, there's just some stuff like, if your son doesn't do what you want to do, curse him for all eternity. No, that's not what you should generally do. Like, that's bad. Or if you wear polyester, you can't, like, come to
you
town.
You can't eat shellfish for some reason.
Yeah, it's like, listen, you kind of have to cherry pick when it comes to that thing, you know.
I mean, the right does. Hey.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see you in the next part of Final Fantasy where we burn our thighs. Abundant thighs.
What the hell?